I have a bad feeling about this. Welcome to the Zix TV. I am the Zix, and we're going to be having a look at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Millennium Falcon. Let's remove this colorful, and there's the packaging that I used to brace it. Put this thing here for the thumbnail, and it falls back. And our landing gear just collapsed. More on that in a moment. Here's our packaging. The Millennium Falcon Micro Galaxy Squadron. I realize I'm late with this. Others have already covered this. Who knows? I might have something new to add to the mix. This is the launch edition, whatever that means. We got the side of the box. The back that shows us some of the features. And we get an instruction sheet in there. And then this thing, this colorful X-Wings and TIE Fighters. Star Destroyer in the background. Whatever this flaming wreckage is in the foreground. Okay. But the thing we came here to see is the Millennium Falcon. And here it is. Here at the Zix TV, for the last, several years, I've been trying to focus on the positive. Because I don't like to be negative. So for the past few years, we'll give it that, past few years, I've been trying to focus on the positive wherever possible and kind of overlook the negative. This is going to be a bit different, and just a warning. And views and opinions held by this reviewer are held only by this reviewer, and you don't have to agree. You feel free to disagree if you like. I'm not asking anyone to. I'm not asking anything. I'm just showing it, and I'm going to give my opinion. And that's all it is, my opinion. So try not to get too grumpy, bent out of shape. It's the Millennium Falcon here. So let's try to focus on the positive, and while pointing out some things that I don't like. It's going to be a mixed review, so bear that in mind. Here is the Millennium Falcon. Now, straight away, something kind of stood out to me. We've got this part actually comes off, and we have a full interior, and you fit these thingies in there, then push on the back. This side, it doesn't stay. the clip or whatever that's supposed to lock it in place, it doesn't stay. And my landing gears are more about that in a moment. I just set it down in there. There. Something that stood out to me right away, even while it was still in the packaging, is this part here, and it's got a wash on it. It's got the watercoloring details, and each one is different because I had two of these. The first one didn't work out so well, and I'll get to that in a moment. This part here is a different shade of gray than this part here, and this, as we've just seen, this part here is designed to come off, and that really stands out to me. It stood out to me while it was still in the packaging. And my first one didn't have any watercolor wash over this area here, and it was painfully obvious. I sent that one back, and I got this one, and it's not much better. It just ruins the entire it just ruins the entire aesthetic of the Falcon for me. That this part here is split into two separate sections. We can tell that by the ridges. You know, it doesn't go flush, but it's just painfully obvious by the color. They couldn't make this piece the same shade of gray as the rest of the ship. Now, as we know, there are 50 shades of gray. Har, har, har. And I believe there was a sequel, wasn't there? Another 50 Shades of Gray. So there's 100 shades of gray. Where was I going with that? I don't know. But there's lots of shades of gray. And there's just lots of shades of gray on this with the watercolor wash. But that really just ruins it for me. So I went into this knowing that, because I could see in the packaging, when it was still in the packaging, I could see it's very noticeable to me, and I don't know why no one I've watched has made a big deal out of this. I don't know, maybe well, I haven't watched that many other people on YouTube reviewing this, but no one else has complained about this, and maybe I'm unique. It just ruins the whole thing. Just looking at it, I'm looking at it right now, and it really stands out. So this whole section here is a different shade of gray than the front part of the Falcon and these parts going around. Maybe I got two duds, I don't know, but I sent the first one back to Amazon, got this. Maybe I got two duds. I don't know. Maybe this is a dud. Yeah. And then we've got the side of it. Well, let's look at the front here. We got the side of it, and then bam, this darkened out area here. What? Why is that like that? The Millennium Falcon doesn't have any places that are blackened out along the sides. We got this part here, and then bam. And this part is partially blackened out. This part is fine. It's just like, what are they doing here? I don't know. Going around the back, we have the engine, which will light up later. That part's okay. This is the circle part. The round part is partially blackened out. And this part here going around back to the front is okay. And our radar dish is blackened out. Since when has the Millennium Falcon's radar dish ever been blackened out? I don't understand this blackening out of areas, and these parts are, I could understand dark gray. Well, these are supposed to be blackened out. They're supposed to be grills. They're vents of some kind. Those are the parts that are supposed to be blackened out. You know, we got some dark gray. Couldn't you have used the dark gray over here instead? I'm just pointing out the aesthetics that kind of, I don't like them. Especially this one here that I've griped about. This part here that just ruins the whole thing for me. Maybe I'm the only one, and you know, my landing gear is collapsing. Maybe we should look at the landing gear. How am I doing for time here? We're 13 minutes in already. My landing gear keep collapsing. So these are like that. There's the bottom. You know, and these parts are blackened out just for good measure. These two are buttons, and I can't even handle the thing without accidentally pressing a button. That's another gripe. Get these out, and it's, I don't know. I don't like this. We got the bottom of the ship behind the landing gear. I suppose it's not too bad, but when you get to this one up here, okay, we got the landing gear. If you look at it from this side, it's just the bottom of the ship. And this side tends to come back up. I don't like the landing gears. I think there should have been a better way to do it. And our loading ramp comes out, but it's got a lot of resistance on it. Oh, I got it. There. Can't see much. Maybe if I take the top off. There's our loading ramp. So you put it down. It doesn't go down all the way. Well, anyway, there's the loading ramp. And we have a full interior. No sticker detail. I would have preferred sticker detail. It's good for computers and computers with blinking lights and stuff. And just would have preferred sticker detail. This whole part we can't access, and our cockpit opens up and there's Han and Chewie in there. Let's have a closer look. There's Han and Chewie in there. Chewie's a bit. Yeah, center yourself, dude. Han Solo comes out easily. And we got details and stuff. You can put Princess Leia and Ben Kenobi in the back. I've got them on the inside. Oop. Had a hard time getting these figures in here. There's Princess Leia. Had a hard time getting these guys in here. So you can try to fit Princess Leia and Ben Kenobi back there. The choice of figures, Princess Leia never met Ben, old Ben, in the original Star Wars film. She might have caught a glimpse of him as they were running to the Falcon to escape. He was dueling Darth Vader to distract him so that the rest could escape. Shouldn't we have gotten Luke to be Luke instead of Leia? That would have made more sense. But instead we get Leia and old Ben. That's just another critique of this thing here. Let's have a look at the there's our, maybe see some of the detail on that. There's our loading ramp. Now I can't get it back in. Whatever. It's really down far in there. We got some details, and those are the buttons. They don't sit well. They were originally sitting around the table, but They fell into this other area here. There's our battery compartment. Not much of an interior. This plate here that runs across, let's get closer. This plate that runs across here is supposed to come off, and then you can put it back on there again. Well, my first Millennium Falcon, it came loose, and I just pushed the landing gear back in there. It was loose, and I could not get it to stay. So when I open this one up, I have not gotten that out of there. I know there's little slots that a thing is supposed to go into. I know. I've watched the reviews. I know how it's supposed to work. I could not get it to work. So there's a dead feature right there. I'm not going to touch that and open it up. I'll never be able to get it back in. Anyway, as I remember, the cargo space underneath is very shallow and not worth much anyway. So it's a dead feature. We can take the rotate this, take this off, and put a person in there facing, there's the chair. It only works if you do it this way, and then rotate it. No, it won't come out. So there's that. Anything else that we want to look at close up? Detail. Up close and personal. It does have a lot of detail on it. There's the front. Those parts should light up. They're the front headlights on this thing. They should have made it so that those light up. And we're back to Han and Chewie in the compartment here. Alright, let's move on. Got my two figures in there. They get stuck in there. I gotta get this loading ramp back up in there. It won't go. There. Let's put the top back on. If we, I don't really need an interior for this. I mean, I suppose if this side doesn't work, That side worked on my first one, but it had the big problem here and the door that wouldn't go back, the curved door. I can't get my landing gears to stay. There. Another thing I'd like to point out is the packaging. It's got this thing that you just get your scissors in there and cut it. So the Falcon was in there like this. I had a really hard time getting it out of the packaging. It's got all these parts that I think I ruined this one, that hold it in securely in place. What happened to the old days of those twisty tie things? You'd have it in there, so you'd have your toy in there, and so you'd have your toy in there, and then you undo you either cut or they're tied off in the back, they're wrapped around it. What happened to that? That was much easier than trying to get the I don't want to break the toy getting it out of the packaging. And I've had problems with all of these except for the TIE Fighter. Well, all the ones that I got. Alright, back to the Falcon. Yeah, my landing gear doesn't... Well, let's just... Enough with the landing gear. They don't work. I don't like them. There, I'll just put it like that. What am I resting it on? The bottom guns. Okay, so that's why well, it's a part of the mold. It won't get damaged. There. Anything I haven't mentioned? Let's see. So let's move on to the press this button here. That's kind of loud. Whoa, and the light is doing weird things on the camera there. You can hold it. And this is a button, as we discovered before. Man, that's loud. And you can so that's everything having to do with that. Takes 3 AAA batteries in the battery compartment that I showed you earlier. That's... and this can turn here. Oh, and you can turn it upside down. Whoa! What was that? Do the other thing. That's funny. Okay, I like that. How do I get it to work? That didn't work. So you do this. No, that didn't work. I think while it's powering up. I was too late. Okay, alright, hang on. I have to do it while it's powering up. Yeah. So you press and hold, and then while it's powering up, you press and hold. Well, that time it did it after it went to hyperspeed. Well, I can get it to work most of the time. Oh, my cockpit came open. Did Han Solo fell out. And you gotta work out and get bigger like Chewbacca so that you stay in your seat. I flipped it over, that's right. Yeah, the cockpit on my first one stayed closed. This one doesn't. So, if you buy one of these, you really don't know what you're going to get. Are the landing gears going to work? Will the cockpit stay closed when you close it? What kind of wash is there going to be over here to cover up the fact that this entire piece is a different shade of gray and it messes up the I'm sorry that it immediately just I noticed it immediately, and I don't know, maybe I'm just unique, but it just ruins the whole aesthetic of the Falcon for me. So but we had some fun with the hyperdrive. So that's cool. I think we've seen everything there is to see here. Look at all that detail there. Let me try the landing gear. Okay. So do I like it? That's a difficult question to answer. I like some things about it. I like the light up hyperdrive, and that was fun playing around with that, trying to get it to yeah. Yeah, you gotta hold the button to go to hyperspace, and then while it's charging up, press and hold again, and hyperdrive fails. That's cool that they put that in there. It looks good. I think my landing gear just gave out. It gave out again. I think the cockpit isn't quite right. It's a bit too snub-nosed. Other Falcons I have it's more cone-shaped and less snub-nosed. I think that's one thing that's off about it. As I mentioned before, this radar dish all blacked out. The other parts that are blacked out on the side. Do I like it though? Well, kinda, sorta. I'll like it when I'm done with this video and I can put it back on its shelf. I suppose it's good in spite of its flaws. But the quality control is leaving something to be desired here, and you really don't know what you're going to get from one Falcon to the next. So if you got one and everything works correctly, you got lucky. So that'll be about it. I think we've seen everything. That'll be about it for this video. I think I've said everything that I wanted to say, and that's it. It is what it is. That's my opinion on this Jazwares Micro Galaxy Squadron Star Wars Millennium Falcon. This is a Millennium Falcon. If there's one thing you had to get perfect in this series, it's the Millennium Falcon. That kind of sums up how I feel about it. If there's one ship you had to do perfectly, it's the Millennium Falcon. It's the flagship of Star Wars. And I have no love for Red Letter Media, but Mr. Plinkett said it best in his review of Episode 3. The Millennium Falcon, quote, he says, "The Millennium Falcon is so cool, it just screams classic Star Wars." And yes, it is classic Star Wars. It plays a prominent role in all three classic films. it's as much of a character as Luke Skywalker or Han Solo. Um, at least to me. So if there's one thing you had to do right in this series, it's get the Falcon right. And I think there are some missteps here. So that kind of that what's the phrase I'm looking for? It kind of dulls the enthusiasm. It kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. I hope this didn't take too long. Well, we had some fun, but there are positives. There are positives. From a distance, it looks good, and you can't tell the difference between gray colors in this area here. Anyway, there are positives, there are negatives, and I'll just leave it at that. So, that's my opinion of the Millennium Falcon here. Thank you for joining me here at the Zix TV. If you made it this far in the video and you still disagree with me, well, that's fine. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to like it. If you like it, that's great. I'm happy for you. I mean, really, I'm happy for you if you like this. The things that I pointed out don't bother you, and you're thrilled with it, and it's really good to you. That's fine. I'm happy for you. You know, maybe I have a personal problem here that I need to get over, or you know, with some of these flaws. If you like it, that's great. I'm happy for you. So, thank you for joining me here at the Zix TV. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching the Zix TV.